It's well, you have no further questions. Your time has expired. Ms. Lofgren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Attorney General, it's obvious what is happening here from the video played.
Watch the top left corner.
Remarks. It's clear that the president's playbook is to divert attention from his catastrophic failure in dealing with the COVID-19.
Now we're going to start marking how many times her cell phone goes off. Watch.
In Europe, the virus has been reduced to such a level that people can safely go out and not worry about being infected. But here in the United States, millions of Americans have been infected. Tens of thousands are dying, and the president needs to divert from that failure. And what is the playbook? The playbook is to create the impression that there is violence, that he must send in federal troops, and that the American people should be afraid of other Americans and trust the president because he's going to send in all troops to American cities. And that's how he hopes to win the election. You know, it's one thing to fight crime, joint task forces. That involves the cooperation of state and local officials. But the governor of Oregon and the mayor of Portland has asked that the federal troops leave because the reaction has actually been in reverse proportion. People are showing up because the troops are there. And I'd like to say that so many of them, I would say most of them, are non-violent. We've all heard about the wall of moms, who show up to make sure that people are safe. And here's what they say. They say they've been tear gassed night after night, left vomiting, that they've been shot at with rubber bean bags, pepper spray. So this brutality has created even more demonstrators.
There goes one.
I'd like to ask you this. When the president issued his executive order, they indicated your department should prioritize investigations. Has your department started any investigations pursuant to the executive order that the president issued?
That's actually 4.
Which executive order, Congresswoman?
The executive order that asked for the deployment of troops to protect the monuments and the federal facilities.
Yes,
on June 26th.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was troops, but we have initiated investigations. Yes, we've made arrests of people who have been rioting and taken down statues. But I think your characterization of Portland is completely false.
I would like to, we can get into that, but I'd like to ask you a question about surveillance, if I may. We've heard reports that cell site stimulators known as stingrays or dirt boxes are being used to collect phone call location and even content of phone calls. Drones are being used that may have facial recognition or cell phone interception technology, and that there is bulk collection of internet browsing history. What specific authority is the department using for these surveillance tools?
I really can't speak to those instances if they've in fact occurred. I'm glad to go and try to determine what you're talking about.
Well, actually, I'm asking about authority, not the details.
Well, I think most of our cyber activities are conducted by the FBI under their law enforcement powers to detect and prevent crime, federal crime.
I think the American public should know that this surveillance technique is just about the people in front of the courthouse. If a husband and wife call each other and one of the spouses has a cell phone that's within range of one of these technologies, not only the location, but the actual content of that couple's conversation can be scooped up using this technology. So this really isn't just about the demonstrating. This is about the privacy of all Americans, and it's all being violated for the president's political purposes of trying to create a scene, create a reason, divert attention from the COVID standpoint. I think it's really very unfortunate and a disservice to the American people. Our chairman, my time has expired.
Point of order.
Gentlelady yields back.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Real quick, I'm going to state his point of order.
Could you ask those members who choose not to come to work to silence their cell phones on the video because it's distracting to what we're doing here
That
today?
is not a point of order. I now recognize Mr. Chapman.
Mr. Attorney General, would it be accurate to say that assisted